playing. And even if it started raining, you won't hear this boy complaining, 'cause I'm glad that you're the one who got away. It's a beautiful day.
Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to Lincolnshire. I went for a little walk this morning, the weather was lovely, now it's not so much again, but we've had a few days of sunshine, so I was very grateful for those. Anyway guys, so as you know, probably from my last video, I am training to become a Slim and Wealth consultant end of March, which is coming very soon, and I am absolutely terrified, but I am super excited at the same time, because I feel like it's one of these most rewarding professions out there. It's a bit like being a doctor, right? No, anyway. So one thing that I need to do on my first group, when I've got 4 of these sessions in my first week of being the Slim and Wealth consultant, is to deliver the new member talk, which is what your consultant would tell you all about the plan when you first come into the group. Now, this has been the biggest challenge for me in the whole training thing, even though I find myself doing the new member talk to people, to, you know, my family in Poland, my friends, people. Recently Slim and Wealth posted my photos before and after losing 6 stone, which was amazing, and basically people have reached out to me that I haven't spoken to since school, and they just couldn't believe that was me before and after, and they've been asking questions like, how do I do that, and what do I do, and what do I eat, and all that, what kind of diet I'm following, am I on jabs and stuff like that. And obviously I am explaining the new member talk every single day pretty much, so I'm not sure why I'm finding it so freaking challenging, but I think it's just because you're supposed to keep a certain structure, and I'm trying to do it like you're supposed to from the Slim and Wealth point as a perfect consultant, which I am obviously not yet because I'm training and I'm only starting now. Anyway, if you could do me a huge favor and listen to my new member talk, which I'm going to try and do now, and give me your feedback, just absolutely honest feedback. Have you understood? Have I bored you to death? Just let me know, please, if you can bear with me. Okay, so I'm gonna do it as if you came into my Slim and Wealth group and you are there for the first time, or you're rejoining, or you want to just find out more about the new amazing plan, because it's a lot better, I think, since 2026. Anyway, so imagine you are in my group. You walked in through the door, you grabbed a cuppa, and I go. Good morning, everyone. Some of you may know me, some of you don't know me yet. I'm Alex and I'm your new consultant, and I have lost 6 stone with Slim and Wealth group, this very own group, in the last 3 years, and I am currently in my target, which is amazing. I just want to say huge round of applause for absolutely everyone coming through this door today, because I know this is the hardest step to actually come into the group, especially if you don't know what it's all about. For example, when I first walked in through the Slim and Wealth group door, I thought it was a little bit like AA group, where everyone's going to talk about my weight and people will be judging, and it was completely not like that, because everyone welcomed me with open hands and offered me a drink, and it was just the most friendly environment I've been, and I absolutely loved my first group. So I hope you feel the same in this group. So what is Slim and Wealth all about? This is your essentially Slim and Wealth book, that you'll be given as a new member, or you may have it if you are already joined. So, Slimming World is based on food optimizing, healthy lifestyle, and support system. Support system is your group, me, everyone here, the app, whole Slimming World thing. So, food optimizing in Slimming World is based on 3 easy steps. Step 1 is your free food, unlimited free food, which I'll tell you all about in a second. I know, unlimited. Number 2 is your healthy extra choices, 3 choices each day. And number 3, 5 to 15 sweeps. Sweeps, what used to be called sins in the past in Slimming World. These are your Slimming World individual picks. So let's start with step 1. What is free food? I'll read a little bit about it. Free foods are bulky and low in energy density, so you can satisfy your appetite without worrying about consuming a lot of calories. They are nutritious, satisfying, liberating, appetite reducing. Base your meals around the free food to cut calories without counting them. Because some of you might think Slimming World is like some kind of magic. No, it is all based on calories. The difference is you do not need to count them. We do it for you. The plan is based on doing it for you. So, unlimited free food. Slimming World free foods are low in energy density, which is calories per gram, filling and nutritious, slimmer stream. That's why as long as they are cooked without fat or oil, you can satisfy your appetite with more than 350 free foods, unbranded, all in this book. These include pasta, rice, noodles and grains, poultry, fish, meat, eggs, dairy products, plant-based proteins, if you're vegan, beans, peas and lentils, vegetables and fruit. So yes, you can eat pasta, can't eat bread. Next thing is your health choices. 3 choices per day. These are the symbols that you will find on page number 23. So you've got your calcium choice, and we recommend having at least 1 calcium choice per day. You can mix and match. You can have your calcium choice, fiber choice, or fat choice, healthy fat choice. But try and get at least 1 calcium choice for all around health. So your calcium choices, these need to be carefully measured, because if you're not measuring, then you would be using your sweeps. So what is calcium choice? For example, that's 350 ml of skimmed milk. So you can still enjoy your tea, coffees, just drink as normal, just swap to like skimmed milk, semi-skimmed milk, or you could have 200 ml of whole milk, which is what I do. These also include your cheese, so you don't need to ever feel deprived because you can still have your cheese. Your fiber choices, healthy extra fiber choice. These high fiber cereals or supermarket own brand version are all healthy extras. Always measure your portions to see the weight losses you would love. And if you go over, count them as sweeps. What are the fiber choices? You could, for example, have 45 grams of bran flakes or 40 grams of porridge oats. And the possibilities are endless. If you talk about oats, I make breads, I make baked oats, I make healthy donuts. So yes. And also, don't forget, you can still have your favorites as a healthy extra choice. For example, if you just take 70 grams of wholemeal bread of any unsliced loaf, you can still have it. So you could have bread from this nice bakery. Or you could go for more and have 2 small slices wholemeal bread from the 400 gram loaf. You could also swap these for example, our hi-fi bars. Or we also have a range in Iceland of the wraps. And let's not forget, there are naans in Iceland as well, with your nice curry. This can also include things like cooked fruit, canned fruit, dried fruit. So don't forget, you can have all of it. And now my favorite part on page 30, healthy extra, healthy fat choice. Now, this opens huge possibilities. You could enjoy as your healthy fat choice, for example, 20 gram of chopped mixed nuts, 25 hazelnuts, 15 cashew nuts, avocado, olive, and oils. So you could use it for your dressings, you could have your guacamole, you can have all of that. And it's pretty good actually, because your healthy fat choice includes 80 grams of avocado. And honestly, trust me, you don't need more. I, for example, do guacamole where I add tomatoes, onions, coriander, you just make it a lot bigger if you add more stuff. So you can mix up your healthy choices. You can have one healthy fat choice, one calcium choice, one fiber choice, or if you like, some members in our group like to have your toast for breakfast and then have a slice of bread with your soup, you can still do that. It's entirely up to you. These are your picks. And coming to the picks. Step 3 is 5 to 15 sweeps. You can really enjoy all the unlimited free food that we mentioned and the 3 measured healthy extra choices every day and still lose weight. That's because with food optimizing, you will tighten up on the more calorie-dense foods, the high sugar, high fat choices that pose the biggest risk when we're trying to lose weight. We call these food sweeps, Slimming World individual picks, and that's just what they are. A group of foods that you can pick from each day, whatever floats your boat, from sauces to Sauvignon. Stay firmly within your personal sweep allowance every day to see the motivating weight losses you would love to see. Now, you will get your individual allowance. So it could be between 5 to 15 sweeps, but it could be slightly more if your weight is more. Or, unfortunately, men do get more sweeps. Anyway, moving on from that. 5 to 15 sweeps a day. 15 being a limit, not a target. So try and plan your sweeps a day ahead. Think about what you would like to have. Whether you're going out, maybe you would like a glass of wine, But I would say aim for maximum 10 sweeps per day, since then you will get a little bit of a buffer on the days that you actually need more. And that comes to the next section, which is enjoying a drink. So alcohol can negatively impact weight loss, as you know, and we obviously make much worse food choices if we do have had alcohol. So, however, said that, people still enjoy drink whilst losing weight, and I am a walking example of that. I love my wine, and obviously I measure it, and I do try to keep it on one day of the week, so I kind of buffer my sweeps for that. But it's entirely up to you. You could have a glass of white wine and still not run out of your sweeps per day. But just think about it and make better choices. Losing weight will mean a change in behavior. Unfortunately, that's how it is. So we have to think about it. Now, on the page 37, you will find the whole list of sweeps. And also, you can find it on the app. There is many places in the book that you will find these little QR codes. So just scan it and download the app. There's nothing really you can't find in this. I personally like to use the book for my sweeps because also in the book you will find an average sweeps. So in the app you will find a lot more. So like you can scan the barcode and find a particular brand that you want. But if you can't for any reason, then please do refer to your book, because you will definitely find that food in the book. It's just averaged out. So there could be a difference of half sweep on a particular brand, like little mini meringues. I get mine from M&S and they are half sweep, but the one from Tesco would be one sweep, for example. On the page 60, you will find your essential guide to eating out. Yes, you can absolutely still eat out. Again, working example, and many people in our group still do go out. Just bear that in mind, that if you normally have 3 meals a day, that's about 21 meals every week that you would normally have, right? If you do go out, if you didn't exactly food optimized or you had no choice, you can still make better choices. Obviously you can plan it. Try and have a look at the menu before going to a place, because I can assure you there is always something, a better choice you can make, and you can still socialize. If you're not sure, try and go for free foods. Try and ask people to not put the salad dressing on your salad. Try and make these choices. I'll give you a really good example. When I go for Indian, for example, there is a very high chance you can ask in many of these restaurants, for example, lentil dal. If you ask them to cook it without fat, the chances are they will 100% do it for you, because they cook it separately. So they would add the fatty bits after they have cooked lentils, and it's still absolutely amazing. But said that, even if you wanted to have that, that's only 4.5 sweeps per portion. So you can absolutely still eat normal food, not sound strange to other people and all that. But on the page 30, you will find your guide to eating out. From cafes to Chinese, fast foods and takeaways, pubs and carvery. Oh, I'll give you that example actually. When I was at the head office of Slimming World and doing the training, we had a task in groups to actually list out the takeaways or the restaurants that we would normally go for, and we would try and make the worst possible choices. Then we've done the swaps to like healthier options, and basically we went to Toby Carvery and we started off with 75 sweeps, which we swapped into 11 sweeps, and we still had the gravy, the meat, the potatoes, and one Yorkshire pudding. So yeah, you can absolutely make better choices. You just need to think about it, you need to plan it, and just optimize. So that comes to page 64 of your book, your first fabulous week. I've been told at my training, that people who achieve big loss in the first week, I don't know what it is. I think it is really motivating to just see that first loss. I know some people even tell me there is a water weight and all that, but when you get to see it on the scales in your first week, £4, £5, £6. I think the biggest one I've ever had was actually 11.5 pounds. So I nearly lost a stone in my first week. Yes, I was quite heavy at the time, but it really did motivate me, because before that I've been on many different diets and I've never been able to achieve anything that spectacular. And because I felt that I wasn't actually on a diet and I haven't been hungry and I've been probably actually eating more, just made much better choices. And I think another thing that I've noticed when I started Slimming World was that my plates became beautiful, just rainbow, and you know, when you start adding vegetables. So remember, when you're creating your plate, think about at least 1/3 of your plate of your speed food. So speed food is lower in calorie density. It's from your free food choices. But these are things like broccoli, like cucumbers, tomatoes, just a lot of salad. Create beautiful rainbows on the plate, and that will definitely give you a good weight loss. So, we are on page 66, and it is a food diary. So on the back of your Essentially Slimming World book, you will find tear out food diaries. Now, it is imperative that in your first 4 weeks, you fill out this diary. Write down everything you are having. If you are having a spag bowl, put all your ingredients. If you're making a curry, because yes, you can absolutely make beautiful curries, which I also do, on Slimming World. So just write it all down, because that will not only help you get ready for the next week, to actually understand the plan properly, and you will see that it will teach you that you could make a better choice once you've written down. And it will really help me to properly support you if there is anything that you might have gone wrong with. Yeah. So if there is ever a time that you felt like, I really feel like I should have lost this week, then please do remember to write it all down, because we do forget. And don't wait till the end of the day. Try and write it down as you go. I usually try to plan ahead, and then I go back to those diaries and I add things or swap things, because sometimes I just like to cook something else than I've planned. Depends on the day or time. Because Slimming World can really work around your family, around going out. You can seriously do this. We actually have a member in our Tuesday group who went on a 5-week cruise, and she came back with a weight loss. I couldn't believe it. But that just proves that you can absolutely 100% food optimize when you are out in such difficult environment, which is the cruise. But yeah, she just made much better choices, and everything was cut for her, which I love too. And I found myself doing that as well when I went on holiday last year. I've realized that actually I don't anymore fancy those pancakes and waffles for breakfast, but I have made beautiful salads, eggs, it's just, I actually now find it a lot easier when I'm out for breakfast, when you've got a big buffet to choose from, because there is actually a lot of good choices you can make. And we came to page 68 now, and these are top swaps for your slimming success. So these are just really helpful tips in this book, which shows you what you can do with the food that you normally have, because you can just literally look at your food, because maybe not necessarily you eating badly, but there are just little things that come in. For me, it was always sweets and takeaways. But if you just swap things like white bread. So one medium slice from an 800-gram loaf is 4.5 sweeps, but you could swap it for wholemeal bread and have 2 slices as your healthy extra choice and not using your sweeps. You could have 2 of these a day. Now, regular mayo that you would dunk in your chips, how many chips you could dunk in 1 level tablespoon? That's 5 sweeps. If you swap it for extra light mayo, that's only 1 sweep per level tablespoon. That's much better choice, right? A regular dressing, it's about 3.5 sweeps per tablespoon. Again, you would probably use more, right? You could swap it for fat-free vinaigrette, and there is 1/2 sweep per tablespoon, and these are available practically everywhere, Aldi, everywhere. Semi-skimmed milk is 2.5 sweep for 100 ml. Now, if you swap it for skimmed milk or unsweetened soya drink, that's 1.5 sweep per 100 ml. Sugar, that's a big one, right? Sweetener, obviously. I found that I can't anymore drink the sugary drinks, so I would any which way choose a diet one instead, or water. Yeah, fat-free yogurt, fat-free fromage frais, or very low sweep ones. So the middle lights, they're about 1/2 sweep each. Then high juice squash with sugar. You can just swap it for no added sugar squash or water infused with fruit slices. That's free. Tuna, tin tuna. Just grab one which is made in spring water or brine. Butter, 3 sweeps per 8 grams. That wouldn't go a long way, especially if your toast is not soft. So you would probably use about 3 times that amount. So you wouldn't want to use 9 sweeps for it. You could use light reduced fat spread, and that's 1.5 sweeps per 10 grams. Or do something I do, which is the cheese spreads, light Premiula, and use it as your healthy extra choice. That's what I do. Another one, my favorite drink. So regular cola is 7 sweeps per 330 ml can, and you could just enjoy it as a diet version, or you could just water. much better choice. In the book, on the page 69, you will also find the Free Food Essentials shopping list. So it would show you things that you should definitely have in your house, and I can't emphasize more. Eggs, fat-free natural cottage cheese. Also in Lidl, you can find the higher protein versions of those. Plain Coke, fat-free natural fromage frais, frozen food, veg. Loads of people in my group use the little pouches for the veg, so you could just basically pop it in the microwave, pop it on your plate, and easy done. Packets of plain pasta, rice, couscous, noodles, canned food, baked beans, mushy peas, chopped tomatoes, fish, tuna, salmon, mixed beans. Add them to your salad for extra protein. Now, on the page 71, it gives you more ideas about a new way to enjoy things, switching from old habits to free and feeling ones. It is so helpful to actually go through the book, reread the book, highlight all the favorite things you might like, and yeah, just reread. Just loads and loads of ideas in here. Lifesavers, page 82. This is really, really helpful, because when we think about the snack, what do we think about? We think about a bag of crisps, something like that, yeah? But there's just so much more you could have. I think about the times that I used to have a dessert every single night with my husband. So we would sit down and like grab a bag of popcorn, then I don't know, something sweet to go along with that. And now basically what I find myself doing is I make a huge plate of fruit. My husband likes cheese, so I would do for myself a fruit plate with like hi-fi bars, and I sometimes cut them into small pieces, so it's like picking up a little piece of chocolate. But my husband likes cheese, so I would measure his cheese, make it a healthy extra choice, then add grapes, add vegetable, croutons, things like this. Crudités, that's what they call them. Then on page 84, you've got supermarket safe zone. So again, there's like loads and loads of different ideas in this book to really help you on the plan. Showing eating out and ordering in, page 86. To go through your book, have a look. Oh, this is what I wanted to really show you. This is a great visual. So, chips, pie and gravy. Can you imagine that, yes, you could have this one meal, and let's be honest, that wouldn't be a one meal a day, right? Now, you could swap it for this lovely cooked breakfast, this lovely pasta salad lunch, and a curry in the evening, and have all these for the same amount of calories as this one meal. So what would you rather do? Slimming World's active lifestyle program. Now, you don't have to join the gym. You do not need to go on a park run every Saturday. You do not need to go and jog every morning. We encourage you to obviously do your activities, and I'll tell you one thing, more weight you lose, more active you will naturally become. So don't stress out and don't put too much pressure on yourself. I haven't started my exercise and gym routine and all that when I first started losing weight. It came with time, and now I do feel like I want to do a lot more activities. So I do my walks in the morning, especially when it's such a lovely weather. But I also know the reality when we are busy, when we're working, when we're moms, it's very difficult to manage all of that and put 2 hours, 1 hour of gym into that busy lifestyle. So think about being active in different ways. For me, for example, cleaning the house. Oh my God, if I clean my downstairs, I have burned 2,000 calories. Just think about it. Wear your Fitbits or Apple Watches. It is really encouraging to actually see, try and aim for that 10k steps, because it's really healthy for you. And it boosts your metabolism, it boosts your mood. It absolutely is motivating in everyday life to do more activity, but you do not need to go crazy with the gym. When we lose weight, we lose body fat, which is what we want. And unfortunately, we also lose some lean muscle tissue, which is not what we want at all. Becoming more active and building on already active lifestyle early in your Slimming World journey will help you preserve those muscles as you lose weight. And that helps sustain your metabolic rate too. So you burn more calories even when you're resting. Research shows that the further and more frequently you move your body, and actually the heavier you are, the more energy, calories you will use. Great news if you're at the start of your weight loss journey. So more active you become at the beginning of your journey, better it is. But like I said, don't stress about it too much. And in Slimming World, we do give awards for healthy lifestyle. So you could achieve your bronze award, silver award, gold award and platinum award as well. Now, I can't emphasize more on how important page 116 is. The power of support. I truly believe, and I am a true example of it, that if you do come into the group every week, you will get the weight losses. Whatever it is about it, it's the accountability, it's the support, it's every time I come out of the group, I feel motivated because I see other people doing well, I want to do well, and it just really helps me to stay on track to come to group every week. Oh, the last bit I need to mention, it's on the page 124. So probably when you walked in through the door, you had a number in mind that you wanted to achieve. Or maybe you thought, surely it's impossible that I will ever get to that number. So you feeling stressed to declare it. But the research shows if you do declare your actual target on the day one, you are far more likely to achieve it. And believe me, I never thought I will get to my target. I never thought you could lose 6 stones. Definitely not me. I was definitely that person. So what I've done, when I walked first time through the door, I declared something which is the interim target. So it was basically a halfway through to my target, but this is completely individual to you. I'm sure you have a number in mind. Put it down. I'm telling you, if you write it down on the piece of paper, it has a magic power. It has the magic power that will help you achieve it. Write it down. Write down your aims. And if you can't think of actual weight, and you might think, well, I'd really like to go back to, I don't know, size 10, size 8, size 12, whatever it is. Think about it, that to lose one size dress, you will probably need to lose about 12 pounds. So think about it this way, but definitely try and declare your weight. Take a leap of faith and decide right now what you really want to achieve. You can do it. And on the page 127, you will find some tips about it, because there is a lowest acceptable personal target weight in Slimming World. It corresponds with a BMI of 20. That's a level we are advised is the safest lower target for the widest range of people, just above the lowest cutoff point of the healthy weight range. And if you achieve your target, you can stay in Slimming World for free forever, as long as you are 3 pounds up or down. So that's page 134. If you want, you can put your measurements in here. It is very helpful to see that actually in the future, because you will achieve those weight losses and you will look back and you will feel super satisfied that you have lost not just so much weight, but inches as well. So how was that, guys? Was it okay?